Olá, sejam bem-vindos ao Café do Escritor, em conjunto com a CBL, a Câmara Brasileira do Livro. Estamos aqui nesse evento fantástico que a gente conversa sobre o livro, que é o evento de editores, livreiros, distribuidores, gráficos, para justamente falar sobre a cadeia do livro. E conosco está o Videl, que é vice-presidente da BookWire na área de audiobook. Welcome, Videl.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, it's good to have you here. And we'll like to know more about the audiobook industry. How is it going? And if you could tell us how it is working worldwide, what's the moment for audiobooks in the world according to your experience?
Yes, sure. So audiobooks is growing really fast all over the world. In many different markets. So I'm in London in the UK. It's been growing in double digits for many years. It's the same in European markets, in the US, and now also in Brazil. Things are really beginning to move, I think.
We hope so.
Yes, definitely.
Very good. And in your opinion, what's the key factor to transform Brazil in a major consumer for audiobooks?
It's a good question. I think we need to have more education for publishers to understand how audio works, and to prioritize audio and to learn how to produce audio. And then we need to have more education for consumers to understand.
Of course.
What is an audiobook? What does it mean? It's storytelling, it's fiction, but it can also be non-fiction. It can be many different things. So I think there needs to be a wave of education. And it's totally normal, and it happened in other places as well.
So do you think we are on our way right now?
I think it's the first phase just coming now, and now we're maybe entering the real phase of the beginning of the mainstream.
Sure.
I think it's coming.
I'm happy about that. Good. In your opinion, what's the genre which is most listened? It's fiction or non-fiction? What do the consumer prefer?
I think consumers, they listen to a lot of fiction, for sure.
Good.
And genres like crime and thrillers and fantasy and all kinds of fiction. But also some kinds of non-fiction are working really well. Of course, like biographies of celebrities, but also things like self-development.
Religious.
And religious as well, for sure.
Good. I'm one of them because I go to the gym, working out, and listening to some personal development audiobook. So it works.
Exactly.
It works for the body and for the mind.
Yeah, great.
That's it. Yeah, I work in the indie book industry. I'm an independent editor and also an author. Do you think audiobooks will work for the indie book industry as well?
Yes, for sure. In BookWire, we work with a lot of indie publishers, and I know in audio there are lots of successful independent publishers.
Okay.
So a good audiobook can come from anywhere, can come from lots of different places, and we need this bibliographic diversity. We need lots of different titles because consumers want different things.
Who knows
where the next thing comes from?
That's it. I always say, we never know where a book can reach.
Exactly.
A physical book or even an audiobook.
Even an audio book.
Yeah, that's it. A book is always a piece of magic, a kind of magic.
Yeah.
It works and it spreads on its own.
And an audiobook also can reach non-readers because it goes very wide.
Yeah.
So people are listening to stories from their childhood and their parents or their families, so it's a big potential audience.
Good, and this is my last question about that. Do you think there's a connection between listening, because when we are children who have listened to stories, the parents told stories, and do you think there is a connection with this listening from the memories and when you were young with the storytelling of an audiobook? Do you think people get connected listening?
Absolutely, and there has been a lot of research about the engagement of the brain and the emotions when you listen to an audiobook, and there's a lot of information going in and the listening. We're humans. We listen. We have, not all the time, but we try. And it's a very strong connection between the storytelling and listening. So I think when an author writes a book, I think now more and more writers, they're thinking, okay, my book will also be an audiobook when I'm writing the story.
Yeah. I always tell the authors, please try to read your book aloud, how it works.
Yes.
Yeah, because then if it sounds okay, it will reach your readers.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And very good. I think it's a great time for audiobooks, and I thank you so much for having this conversation.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, and I hope in a short time Brazil will spread its wings on audiobooks.
I'm really convinced if I come back in 1 or 2 years, I think things will be different and will be getting bigger and growing. And I want people on the street to talk about audiobooks.
Sure, yeah. And I thank you also, BookWire, for being here and bringing you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. I really enjoyed it.
Very good, and thank you for this interview.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pessoal, então nós ouvimos o Videl Barcar, como eu falei, ele é o vice-presidente da seção de audiobook da BookWire, também uma parceira aqui com a CBL e com o Café do Escritor, e foi um prazer tê-lo aqui conosco, e espero que vocês também tenham aprendido e conhecido um pouco mais sobre o audiobook e como isso pode atingir os nossos leitores e ouvintes, né, dessa possibilidade de levar o livro mais longe através dessa mídia. Fique conosco, aqui no Café do Escritor você encontra muito conteúdo, já segue a gente nas redes sociais, no YouTube, no Instagram, também a CBL, a Câmara Brasileira do Livro, e a gente continua conectado. Até a próxima vez.